Okay, so hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty. Realize my camera's on as I'm recording this, so I'm just gonna leave that on. This is the little build diary update for Cleave, the Rage Cleave. So I ended the weekend rank 1 Cleave at level 91, which isn't saying much, but the build's going okay. It's totally fine. If you were in Trade League, this would be great. If you're in solo self-found and you've had the luck I've had with acquiring what we need, not so great. There's been a bunch of amendments to the build because of just how I've found things to be. So we're going to go over those amendments in a second here. I just want to pop in like a map to show you what it kind of looks like. Let's not do a temp chains map if possible. Let's do, sure. And yeah, you got an idea of what's going on. So we're going to just showcase what it looks like first, then we'll talk about whatever. And I'll sort of talk things as we go through. So there's a couple awkward things with the build that I've discovered. One being just the general ramping of it. So you have no rage in the beginning, which is awkward because you're a build based on rage. That being said, in the course of that one strongbox, I'm pretty much up to snuff already. The AoE I have no rage items at all. Like I have nothing, no bear belt, no psychotic axe, no charms, and it feels fine. The build plays fine. Again, we're in just starting red maps and that sort of stuff. I've done up to like 14s and 15s, but yeah, it has no real issues with damage or clear, and single targets also really good thanks to using Berserk. We'll showcase that in a second as well. We are crit based, and I think you probably could go RT if you wanted and go precise technique. I don't know if it'd be bad or good, but there's a lot of variations I think you could do with this build that would ultimately feel okay. It definitely feels and plays like a melee build if you're not used to like a higher APM kind of clicking type vibe. There's that. Here's with Berserk up. You can see the attack speed is like, we're at 10 a second, I believe, so it's like comical. But after you use Berserk, your rage will begin to diminish, and I'm back to being effectively flaccid. So I have to rebuild from here. That being said, again, it doesn't take very long to rebuild your rage, so not a big deal, but it could be awkward like on boss fights and that sort of stuff, just to get your rage back on up to snuff. But yeah, the clear is okay. It's not problematic with where I'm at right now. Again, this is Cleave of Rage with what is 70 rage, which is the base rage you can get. You can get 75 on tree if you grab the axe node. I just haven't bothered yet. And then 20 from bear belts, 20 from psychotic axe, 15 from charms. And there might be even, I think there's the jewel that gives you like a charm roll. So that would be another chunk right there. We're going to showcase like what it looks like to kill a boss in 2 seconds here. Try to group them up if possible. Drop the totems, hit spacebar, and then I hit Berserk, and this is what it looks like. So again, the single target's pretty much okay. Even when the rage diminishes, as I'm going lower towards the boss thing, it's still like they're dying in a respectable manner. There's the map. So the amendments I've made are as such. First thing is first, the links. I'm running multi-strike. What that means is I'm not exerting. Now, I'm not exerting because I no longer spec'd into the exert part of Berserk. I just grabbed the flat fizz crit and multi here. It felt like the exerting wasn't working, and it felt like the attack speed felt better with the AoE being as high as it did, so multi-strike is what I was running. So crit damage, brutality, rage, melee fizz, multi-strike, and then cleave of rage. I could not get Val Cleave of Rage. I tried twice now. You would want that. I don't have that. That's okay. The links I'm running, cast damage taken. I put Blood Rage in here. Just made it lazy. Felt good. Auras, Arrogance, Vitality, Precision. Purity of Elements, Clarity. I could drop Clarity if I had better rings. I have the Elder Craft, I just can't put them on, so I don't have that. If I did have that, for reference, you could see if I remove my camera, that's what a mana's at. It's actually close to being enough to where we could run Determination or Pride, whatever you wanted. That's the amount of shit we're at because of Champion of the Cause. So you could literally run another 40% or 50% more probably if I just had, 60 int on one ring. So there's that problem. Camera coming back, engage, boom. Yeah, don't have the bear belt. Assassin's Mark, Intimidating Cry, Life Tap, Mark on hit. That's been great. Casting this portal, because game. And then Ancestral Protector Leaps, and Berserk. That's been the vibe. For placing totems, right-clicking. Really, I only use it for single targets, so like a rare, I'll drop it. Regular packs die too fast. Not really much of an issue, to be honest. Pantheons, I'm running poison stuff. I don't have chaos. I have shit for chaos res. Negative 45, so. Problematic there. The tree has changed slightly. One thing to note, I have Inspired Learning. You probably won't have this normally. So, and also this is where your Thread of Hope would go. So you don't need Inspired Learning. It makes a minor difference. It's fine. You'd rather have Thread of Hope because you just save a bunch of points and you get like all these things you want to get. So run Thread of Hope, ultimately. I dropped Prismatic Skin. It didn't seem to make a fucking difference. Like, you know, if a Ellie hit's gonna one-shot me, 3 max res ain't helping. And the Corrupting Blood seems to be offset by the amount of leech and regen we had. So whatever. Fortify, I don't have a charm for. That would be 5 points you could save there. There's a lot of points I could be saving, but I have shit gear, so here we are. I don't have any clusters. It sucks to be me. I went over here because I was running out of shit to do. There's a couple nice things here, like Ambidexterity is very good. We're attacking with both weapons, so this works really well. The Mastery being 60% damage with 2 different weapon types. Have to use a sword, have to use an axe. Feels good, sure. The Mark Cluster, or the Mark Notable, for marked enemies cannot regenerate, is very important, especially doing the League mechanic. Like, we know how tanky and overtuned these mobs are right now. Making them so they can't regen, very important. Calling Strike is technically a 10% more damage multiplier, so cool. Hematophagy. This has been the biggest amendment, I would say. Left side Hematophagy plus Total Recovery Mastery has been very beneficial. We're basically just parking ourselves on bosses, right-clicking and hoping they don't one-shot us. If they don't one-shot us, we don't die. That's been basically the vibe, so would go for that. I've been doing trying to farm my girdle and swords non-stop, and I've gotten nothing. So what I'm using for weapons is just like a shit rare and a shit rare. Okay, you'd want a Psychotic Axe, and the offhand you'd want either Savior. We don't know how it interacts with Rage still. I don't know if the reflections from Savior keep your Rage, and then our clones that have your same Rage rate. If it is, that's fantastic. If not, or you want to focus on single target, use a Paradoxica for double damage. Yes. I'm currently using Shadow and Dust for Rampage. That's fine if you could fit it in. It has multi, it has rate, it has mana leech. These are good things. Nothing else matters on there. And if I had an Abyssus, I'd probably use it. I would probably just lean into being a glass cannon. Abyssus plus Determination, I think would be okay. It probably would basically offset each other. I don't have that right now. I have just a rare. So, yeah. These are the things that I would be working on if I had them. I just don't. That being said, I'm still able to map probably into... If I get a little bit better gear, like 20% better gear, my gems are already getting qualityed and flipped, so I don't have that to lean on. But if I got like one upgrade here and there, we could probably do 14, 15, and 16s pretty easily. Just not with additional content, because it'll be just too rippy. Like, we're kind of squishy right now. We have no suppression. Our way of getting suppression, I would say, is nigh impossible without, like, super good gear. If you wanted to go suppression, you'd probably pick up Mage Bane, you'd pick up Reflexes, you'd pick up the Mastery for 15% suppression, and you'd run all armor evasion things. You're so close down here that you'd probably pick up Thick Skin, and probably pick up Entrench, and then you just get Twin Terrors. That being said, like, that's a lot of points you'd have to drop someplace else. But if you had Thread, you save points there. If you have Fortify, you save points there. You're just abandoning the Warcry, and you're abandoning clusters. It's not terrible, it's just a decision. Like, it's just a different decision to make. You'd be stretching, like, goat seed across the fucking tree, though. Like, we already are going out quite far. It's like, okay, is there a, it's a lot of crit rate. Again, you could equally drop all the crit, run Precise Technique, okay, for the 40% more multiplier, never critting. We're at Resolute Technique, basically, because we're still at Hardy. And that'll save you 5 points there, 3 points there. And then, yeah, I mean, is it worth it? And then 3 points there, or 4 points there. And then you'd have to pick, you probably pick up Withered Hunter, I guess? Something else for accuracy. You need another accuracy section. Because you don't have enough, unless you had cracked gear. This is the biggest problem, is you're not going to get your accuracy that high. Like, with precision, right now my accuracy is at 3.4. 3.5, that's with clusters. And, you know, my sword has a 40% on it. You'd have to get at least 1 or 2 rolls, I would say, to be able to use that. Not bad, just different. You got a couple options. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here. Is we've got some options. If you went that, you would probably drop Flawless because the crit's worthless, and you'd just pick up Warbringer. Although it doesn't really do shit, I guess. I don't know what the like. Defy Pain is, I don't really think, very good. But you could pick it up, I guess. I don't. Maybe you picked the 2 small nodes. That seems stupid. There's some things to figure out here. You got some wiggle room. Long story short, that's where we're at right now. If you're in solo self-found, I would not recommend this build. Full stop. Where I'm at, unless you're willing to struggle and push through like I am to grind out a Psychotic X, to grind out a Bear Belt. I've done well over 150 harvests at this point, and I've seen 0 bear bosses. Okay? And that's where, with trying crop rotation, with trying no crop rotation, double blocking, I've tried both. 0 bear bosses. And that's in white, yellow, and red maps. I've done, I think, 20 Grand Heists now, not seen a Psychotic X. Okay? So, you're going to have to grind, you're going to have to struggle a little bit, unless you get lucky, to progress this build into where it will be better than, like, if you just went Rage Vortex of Berserking, or just Rage Vortex, and I could change 15 points in my tree, I would be way better off. And it would require none of the struggle I'm currently exhibiting. Right? Just got to keep that in mind. This is a labor of love build. So I'll do another update when we are more progressed and when we have both our items, and then we're probably going to be calling it after that, because it's just so much effort for something that is not really worth it, I don't think, in SSF. Now, if you're in trade, you buy a Bear Belt, you buy a Psychotic X, you buy a Paradox, you buy a Savior, you buy a Thread. That's like probably under 3-4 Divines, all that stuff. Easy to make, right, at this stage of the game. You will be having a great time. Your AoE will be 2 to 3 times as much as mine is. And you'll be fucking zooming, okay? Trade League, big thumbs up. Solo Self-Found, huge thumb sideways. Hardcore, in the ground. I've died many times because you are Berserker and you have no elemental or spell mitigation at the moment. Not to mention I have no Chaos Res because shit gear. So, that's it. That's the build diary vibe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you have any suggestions, keep in mind, by the time you comment, I've already progressed past your suggestion, probably. Things have already changed. Things have moved. You know, I know that you can't Warcry Exert. We understand that. You're talking to no one here. You still get the overwhelm damage per power. Okay, there's nothing else you can fucking put here. I don't need any other Warcry. They don't do anything. So, this is where we're at. I just have Exerts. They just sit there until I leap slam. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Feel free to message me. I've been Matt Lighty. This is Rage Vortex. Update 1 of 2, I guess. I can't imagine I get more than like 2 to 3 levels here without, you know, dying and losing more than I'm netting. And then I'll see you guys next time in the next update. Bye bye.